In this video here, the Rogue Rockhound gifted me some absolutely beautiful rainbow obsidian, and I thought what better to do with it than tumble it. I'm really excited to tumble these, especially because they're rainbow obsidian, so I'm really hoping that as we tumble them and get them worn down a little bit more, you're really going to be able to see that beautiful color. So here's a beautiful piece. You can kind of see that shift right there. Do you see it? Oh, there! Do you see that? Isn't that so pretty? It's like just a rainbow of beauty. I love, oh, there, oh, there, look, right by my thumb. Can't even talk. That's so exciting. See that like purple and orange shift? That's so, look at that. I love it. So I am so excited to tumble this and really just reveal all the beauty inside this obsidian. So since I only have 1, 2, and 3 pound barrels, these giant pieces really aren't going to fit. So I'll have to cut them down just so that they fit in the barrel. Plus then you'll have smaller and more rocks to work with in the end. So to the slab saw. We are back inside from cutting the obsidian. Can you tell? Can you tell? How can you tell? How can you tell that I'm back in and I just got done? How can you tell? You can't tell. Anyways, let's take a look at what we got for our tumbler. So here's everything that we did not cut, and then in here is everything we just cut. You can see the saw marks here on these edges. Now, we are not going to worry about those saw marks because they're going to go in the tumbler anyway. Since there's quite a lot here, we really could use a 3 pound barrel, but because obsidian is a lot more fragile than, for example, agate or jasper, I'm going to stick with the 2 pound barrel just to kind of play it safe. I don't want too much tumbling around in here. So I think I'm going to do a mix of some of these bigger pieces as well as some of our smaller pieces here, just because I don't want to do all of the big pieces and save all the little ones, because they kind of help to balance each other out as they're tumbling. And as you can tell, we are going to be doing this probably more than once because there is so many, which, trust me, I am not complaining about. Now, I feel like that does kind of look too full, but what I'm thinking is because these rocks are so big, as they start knocking into each other, it will kind of shrink down more than what you would typically see with a bunch of smaller rocks. And I still have all these left over and about half of a container of our obsidian. Next, of course, we'll add some water. I would say that looks about good. Now we'll add our polyplastics. We're gonna do 2 scoops of step 1. Looking good, let's get the cap on. We're gonna get this on the tumbler for 5 days. It's time to take a look at our rocks. We are taking this obsidian out now after being tumbled for 1 week. I'm really excited to see what our obsidian looks like because this is one of my first times tumbling glass. So I'm just not really sure what to expect on if it really tumbles down a lot or if it's gonna still be pretty bumpy. So let's see what they look like. Okay, so I rinsed them off. I mean, not great, but just enough to kind of take a look at them. Now, they definitely don't seem ready to move on. There's still lots of big cracks and chips and stuff in here, and I feel like I may have not broken them into small enough pieces because, like, these are still kind of huge. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, well, I think I've decided that I'm just gonna put them in here and let them keep tumbling down. And by the time all these little chips and cracks and things get out of our obsidian, maybe they'll be a better size. And if I break them now, then they could end up really, really small like this. And we don't want that. So let's do that. There are some little bits of obsidian down at the bottom here. I just tried to grab some of it, and like, I have to remember that this is literally volcanic glass, and it didn't cut my finger, but it definitely, I could feel it. I could feel that it was sharp. So if you tumble obsidian, make sure you keep that in mind. I am also going to add some more of our pieces that we cut in the slab saw earlier to fill in the space. So let's go ahead and get our 2 scoops of step 1 polyplastics in here. Got the lid back on here. We'll top this off and we'll tumble it for another week. All right, it is time to take a look at our obsidian. Now, I did let this sit on the counter for a little bit so I can kind of feel some of the grit stuck in the bottom, but let's take a look at how it's doing. And here we go. Ooh, looking good so far. Kind of got a cool little swirl pattern on it there. Okay, I'm hoping that they're a little smaller. Ooh, they're still pretty big. Just got a couple little rocks stuck in the bottom, but not bad. Man, this slurry sure gets thick though down at the bottom. I feel like these are looking better. I'm gonna go through and see which ones may be able to move on to step 2 and which ones we should continue tumbling in step 1. So what I'm gonna be looking for here is any rocks that have any cracks or chips that I don't think are going to be able to come out in step 2. So like this one's got a divot right there. I think it's too deep, so we're gonna go back for step 1. And it does help when the rocks are a little bit more dried out, just so you can really see those cracks, but you really only wanna do this in step 1 so that you don't get any grit carrying in those little cracks for other stages. So I am pretty surprised that really only these little tiny rocks are ready for step 2, and all of the rest of these are needing to continue in step 1. So we're gonna put these in a little container now while we wait for these next ones to be ready. So I'm just going to put them in this old polyplastic ceramic media container. Got our little label for the top so I know what it is. And let's see if we can find some more obsidian from the ones that we cut that we can fit in here. Okay, I think we're gonna add this one. Let's add that. I don't know, I feel like that's pretty good. Repeated step 1, we'll put it back on the tumbler for another week. It's been a week, so it's time to take a look at our obsidian. Now, I won't bore you with the steps because we are gonna be doing the same thing this week as we did last week, which is going through the rocks, seeing which ones are ready for step 2, taking those ones out, and then putting new ones in that are ready for step 1. So I'll check back with you when I'm done with that. So these ones here are not ready for step 2, but we did get quite a few that actually are ready. Okay, so I completely forgot that this is literally all that was ready last time, those tiny little pieces, but now we get to add all of these. All right, we've got some new ones added. I'll get the grit and the water in here, and then I'll see you in another week. Well, it has honestly been a couple of weeks since I've checked on this obsidian, and the level is pretty low, so I guess we're gonna see how they're looking. Okay, not too terribly bad. I honestly think that a lot of these are going to be ready to move on to step 2. I just saw this one, and watch this. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that shift. Absolutely gorgeous rainbow obsidian. Wow. Wow, that is a beautiful piece. But honestly, these are all looking really, really good. I think that couple weeks in the tumbler really helped. So here is an example of what they look like dry. As you can see, they're really, really smooth, but not shiny yet. It does feel really nice in my hand, like super kind of satiny, I would say. And these are all the ones that are going to be ready for step 2. And here are the ones that will continue in step 1. So let's add some more and fill our barrel back up. I did also finally get a chance to cut these down a little bit smaller because a lot of the pieces I had were way too big. And would you look at that, we only have a few left down in there. This is full and ready for more stage 1 polish. We'll see you in another week. Well, it's already been another week. I went through these already and I picked out all of these, whoa, beautiful obsidians that are ready to move on to step 2. I think there was actually quite a lot this week that were ready, so that is pretty exciting. But it's time to add the few we have left, and this barrel is getting pretty low. These are the last 3 raw obsidians that we have left. Now this level is already kind of low, so I'm not really sure what we're gonna do after these ones are ground down, and some will still not be ready to be moved on. But let's worry about that next week. See you in another week. I am so excited because look at all of these obsidians that are finally ready for step 2. And we get to take a look inside our step 1 barrel and see if there's even more to add, because I think we are ready to finally move on. Before I dump this, look at those tiny little bubbles in there. Isn't that interesting? I wonder if that's like the gas that releases from the obsidian? I don't know. Weird. And here we go. Here are all the ones that need just a little bit more time in step 1, but it's not even close to a full barrel full. So I think it is time to go on to step 2, finally, with all of these beauties. Now, I'm going to clean out this barrel really, really well because we don't want any of that grit 1 from this barrel moving on to grit 2. I'm going to do the same with the rocks by putting them in an ultrasonic cleaner. And away they go. All right, got everything clean, put in our fresh and clean barrel, and now let's add a little bit of ceramic media. Now, I usually like to add smaller rocks, but because these obsidians can be kind of finicky, I'm just gonna stick with ceramic media just to be safe. Got our water in there, and of course, we'll be using polyplastics, my absolute favorite, step 2. All right, let's get these back on the tumbler for another week. It is finally nice enough to be tumbling outdoors, so let's take a look at our obsidian in a much better environment. Okay, well, so far, so good. I can already see, look at that. The rainbow on some of these. Oh, now I did let these actually tumble in at grit 2 for 2 weeks because I just really want to give them the best chance that I can. So let's get these rinsed off really, really nicely, and we'll move them on to grit number 3. I did decide not to put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, mainly because I am lazy and I don't want to have to go inside to get it. So I just did a really good scrub with some soap and some water for both the rocks and the barrel. Okay, got them all in here. I did top it up with a bit more ceramic media. So let's get our stage 3 added. And of course, we'll do 2 scoops. Now, until I edit this footage, I'm going to have no idea how many weeks it has been since we started this process. So you might be saying to yourself, oh my gosh, is rock tumbling really worth it? Because it's been months. And I just want you to remember, yes, it has been months, but we are making the rocks like as perfect as possible. You don't have to truly wait until every little tiny nick and fracture is gone. It's just they're gonna turn out the best that way. So like if you're just getting into this hobby and you're like, I really wanna do this, but I don't wanna wait that long, you can make it only last like a month and do each cycle for a month, and you'll get good rocks. I mean, they'll be fine. It's just they're gonna look better if they are more smoothed out. So I just don't want to discourage anybody because it really is fun. And especially when they're done, it's like the biggest reward because you've been waiting so incredibly long. So anyway, see you in a week. All right, let's take a look at our rocks. And it's been another couple of weeks, probably like 3. Okay, I've been busy. Let's take a look at our rocks. I cannot believe these are coming out of stage 3. Oh, this is exciting. And like I said, I did let these tumble longer than just a week, but with this obsidian, I honestly think that was probably a better idea than only doing a week, since it is a more difficult stone. We only have the polish left to go. This has been literally months in the making. I don't know if I'm ready for it to be over yet. This is crazy. So I just dried off this sliver right there. I want to try not to get the whole thing dried off, but here's kind of what it's looking like before we put it in polish. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. All right, I'm going to scrub these off and we'll get them into our last stage. And of course, we'll add some more ceramic media to fill up our level. Yeah, let's just do all of it. Okay, I am not sure how much polish I want to add. I think I'm going to stick with my 4 scoops of polish, kind of heaping scoops. And, oh gosh, I don't know why I'm like so nervous about this. Okay, well, this is definitely going to go back on the barrel for 2 weeks for sure, and then we'll check on them and see how they're looking. All right, let's do it. All right, let's check on our obsidian. I am so nervous to see these out of their polish. Now, these have only been in, I'm gonna pour them so carefully, for 1 week. So I don't know for sure if they're gonna be perfectly ready, but I just wanted to check on them. So we're gonna act fast and take a look at a couple and give them a good rinse. Okay, I gave them a bit of a rinse. As you can see, the water is still cloudy, so it's not perfect, but I'm gonna take a couple and dry them off. Okay, let's see. Let's see how they're doing. Okay, the edge is starting to crack. Okay, we're putting back. It is not ready. They are not ready. They're close. We are definitely going to do more polish though. I'm so scared. I hope I didn't just ruin this one. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The faces are really polished. I hope you could see that. I had to like film it so quick because I really didn't want this to ruin the rock. But the edges started to kind of crack, which tells me that either there's not enough ceramic media and they're bruising themselves as they're tumbling, or they just need more time in the polish. So I'm just gonna really make sure we got lots of ceramic media and then put them longer in the polish. One more week, we'll do one more week of polish. Okay, got them back in the tumbler. I added a bunch of water just for now, just so I could show you the level of ceramic media that I have going now. I put in a little bit more. Let's get some more polish back on these and hope for the best. Okay, back on the tumbler now. I'm really gonna actually leave them on for 2 weeks now, so hopefully that helps too. Okay, another 2 weeks down, so let's see if our obsidian is finally ready. Okay, and I'm going to do a single rock rinse test here to see how we're doing, or if they hopefully do not need any more time in our tumbler. All right, she's feeling smooth. Okay, I grabbed a smaller one instead because I was scared. Don't judge me, it's been a long work in progress, okay? Oh my gosh, you're kidding. Okay, sorry, it's got like a little bit of, look at that. You're kidding. This is dry. This is completely dry. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh, I think it's ready. I think they're ready. Let's do this. Okay, this is so incredibly exciting. It has been so long. I cannot wait to see the rest of these. Clean them off with some dish soap. Oh my gosh. Oh, are you so serious right now? Do you see the shine of these? They are so pretty. Oh my gosh, they turned out so good. I don't even want to touch them. They are so beautiful. And even like the tiny little chips, they turned out so amazing. Okay, I'm gonna bring some of these to the light so that you can see the amazing rainbow pattern on these. Okay, look at that. So this one kind of has like a yellow shift to it. Look at that shift. Oh my gosh. My hands are getting them all full of fingerprints. Okay, let's look at another one. This one has like a purple and yellow shift. So there's kind of what it looks like without the color. And then, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm trying to keep my fingerprints off. This one has like bands on it right there. And then this side, oh, that's so pretty. Look at that color in there. See, plain black rock. Beautiful rainbow obsidian. Okay, ready to be amazed? Oh, did you see that? Did you see it? No, that's there. Oh, right there. Oh. That doesn't even look real. Like, that literally looks fake. That is so pretty. Look at that. And just boop, disappears. But if you hold it at the right angle, gorgeous. I am just so incredibly impressed with how these turned out. I love it. It took so long, but it was so worth it. And these also are going to be available on my Etsy, and I'll be giving some of them away over on my Patreon. So if you'd like to get your hands on some of these beautiful obsidians, make sure you head over to Etsy and Patreon to check them out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! On the beach or in the hills, you know who it is. It's a good area. It's a good area. She'll help you find cool against another stuff. It's a good area. It's a good area. Digging deep and having fun, that's your love.